Here's Justified Season 2, Episode 4, titled Blood or Money, For Blood or Money. Continuing on with the theme in this episode of what would you do for your family? And this is what this episode is all about. What would you do for your family? So the Rachel plot. They really don't use these marshals who are on the cast that often in the scene. They seem to be more about like support, background players than anything else. But Rachel has a plot in this episode where they're gonna track to find her brother-in-law who left the halfway house for her son's birthday. So for her nephew's birthday, whose sister died of drugs while the brother-in-law was around. So there's that debate whether the brother-in-law caused her sister to die. And Rachel gives a speech that kind of sums up this episode in many ways. She talks about like growing up, because both of her parents had jobs and she was African American. She thought that she was the part of the Cosby. She thought that they were like the Cosbys, but she knew deep down inside that it was never that way. There was always problems. There's always issues with the dad. There's always issues with the mom, and which caused the issues with the kids now when they grew up. So she always thought the ideal of them being like the Cosbys, but she had to come to reality very quickly so then she could actually move on and realizing, no, we had a lot of issues. We aren't the Cosbys. And it's the question of what would you do? What do you do for your family, even though they are sketchy or whatever you want to call it? And so Raylan's kind of made that decision a long time ago where he kind of removed himself from his family because he knew that they were bad people, which is what Raylan is all about. The Bennett family, they are a family and they help each other out, but that's why they're all messed up, because they help each other all the time and everybody's all fucked up inside, so then they get more fucked up the more they help out with each other. So sometimes you have to just be like Raylan and move away. But that said, Raylan's in Kentucky now and his family's still around, so and no matter what as well, your family is always going to be your conflict. Like, say I have a conflict with my mother, even if I choose not to have a relationship with my mother, that conflict is still going to be there. So if I have a relationship with my mother or if I don't have a relationship with my mother, the conflict will always remain there because that's how life is. So you have to decide whether to have a relationship with somebody, a parent or a family member who's messed up, to know that basically that try to help them, then guide them, or you basically have to remove them from your life, which is, there's no easy answer to either that dilemma, but either way, there's going to be a conflict. And of course, Boyd continues to pursuit to be a good man, and hopefully we all kind of root for Boyd in the long run. That is my review.